So, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., civil rights activist, Baptist minister, inspiration to millions and millions of Americans, not to mention millions and millions from all over the world. But then, why does he have such a similar name as this guy, Martin Luther, the former Catholic priest who, 4 centuries before Dr. King, was so appalled by the corruption of the Roman Catholic Church and the Holy Roman Empire that he inadvertently launched the Great Reformation? Now, what was that? Well, in a nutshell, that was the reforming of Christianity, the way people worship. Catholic priest Martin Luther broke his ties with the Catholic Church and started his own movement, his own church. To simplify it even more, Martin Luther was the first Protestant. Lutheranism. Martin Luther. He started it. Now, the original settlers who came to Manhattan Island back starting in 1624 were not Lutherans, but rather Calvinists. Actually, a few of them were Lutherans, but most of them were Calvinists. But if not for Luther, there'd have been no Calvinism. Martin Luther, no, not Lex Luthor, Martin Luther, right, then John Calvin. And that's the foundation of Protestantism, right there. And that's why people originally left Europe to come here at all, so they could practice their religion free of persecution, their Protestant religion. That's it. And immediately, the island of Manhattan would become the bastion of diversity and tolerance that would stand as the beacon for freedom and the pursuit of happiness the world over. Martin Luther, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But those names, they are very similar. Coincidence? Well, no. Because you see, in 1934, there was a Baptist pastor and missionary from Georgia by the name of Michael King Sr., who, upon traveling to Germany, became so moved by what he learned about this remarkable Martin Luther that he issued perhaps the greatest endorsement of his words and teachings when he renamed himself in honor of this rebellious Catholic priest. And so when Michael King became Martin Luther King Sr., he then looked to his 5-year-old son, Michael King Jr., and because of his father's astounding passion for the courage and foresight of this German theological trailblazer, Michael King Jr. would become Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I told you history is cool. Welcome aboard.